Welcome to the InSession Film Podcast for June 29th, 2014. This is episode 71, and I'm JD Duran.
And I'm Michael Denniston.
And I'm Tim Costa.
To the InSession Film Podcast, this is episode 71. Oh, they slaughtered Ratchet. I'm going to tear them apart.
Yeah, you go get him, Optimus Duran.
Mr. Yeager, who do you think I work for? You're trying to protect your family. That's admirable. I'm trying to defend the nation from alien war. We've had a taste of what that looks like, and we are not going to tolerate another. Now, there is a version of this conversation where you get to go back to your barn. Your daughter gets to graduate with honors, and life as you know it will go on. You have no idea what you're involved with here.
Really? What's the other version of this conversation? Were you sending the hired help to murder my little girl? Or are you gonna man up and do it yourself?
What's your preference?
All right, Transformers Age of Extinction is directed by the still very hated Michael Bay and stars Mark Wahlberg, Nicola Peltz, Jack Rayner, and a few other people as well. I'll toss it to you guys first. I guess I'll toss it to Tim since he's been really chomping at the bit. What did you guys think about Transformers, God help us all, Age of Extinction?
JD, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. Oh, my God. Maybe the biggest reason I'm so tired is because Mr. Bay has pummeled me and my senses. Where do I even begin with this movie? It really... Okay, first off, it was probably a sign when the movie that I saw, the theater that I saw it at, the movie started 20 minutes late. And then the last 5 to 10 minutes was an accident of an overlay of the pre-movie trivia and previews and stuff like that over the last 5 minutes of the film.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was just a mistake. Yeah, this makes sense. This is appropriate. This movie is garbage. It is so terrible. It is unbelievable. And are you serious? You told me before the show that you saw this movie 3 times.
I did.
Oh boy,
I saw it 3 times already. Yes.
Oh my God.
How did you fit it into your
thought
schedule?
That once was enough. You can't even make any sense out of this movie. The plot is incoherent. There's characters that I don't even care about. And I gotta say, one of the silliest things I've ever seen is Optimus Prime riding a dinosaur, a robot dinosaur. That is one of the dumbest things I have ever seen in recent years, at least on screen. And I'm looking around. My theater maybe has about 20 to 30 other people in it, and I was looking around from time to time to see how they were taking it in, and nobody seemed bored. I'm wondering how these movies continue to make so much money. It's already made $300 million worldwide.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and I'm like, is there enough 14-year-old boys to go see this movie to make that much money? And I'm looking at my theater. There's also not just teenagers. There's middle-aged people as well. People in their 20s or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, why do these people keep coming back to this? Is it just to see the great special effects? That's one thing I will say. The special effects and the sound design, phenomenal. With the exception of like 1 or 2 areas, the special effects are practically seamless. But there's only so much you can do in order to hold my attention. You can't just keep putting metal upon metal with amazing sound design and expect me to care. I was hoping without Shia LaBeouf from the previous 3 films that Mark Wahlberg would somehow, raise this movie a little bit. Maybe with the gravitas of Kelsey Grammer, and Stanley Tucci, who's a great actor as well, would engage me further in this film. But no, it's really just the script. It's the script and how effing long this film is. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes, the longest Transformers movie.
It is really long.
Holy crap! And I counted. I looked at my clock, my phone, because it takes them an hour and 45 minutes to get into even the motivation of the main bad Transformer, and why there are even dinosaur robots, and trying to explain that. So it takes them an hour and 45 minutes to even get there. And I was like, there's no reason for there to be so much setup, and there's not even a good flow to this movie. It just seems like scenes happen just because they happen, just because that's the way they were written. I had such a hard time finding anything to come away with this film. I'll let Michael go.
Well, I didn't really have that extensive of a response to it because I came in with all of those expectations that this is going to suck, and it's going to suck for a long time because it is damn near 3 hours long. I did go to a theater that serves food, and I had my meal, I had dessert, and then I had drinks. So maybe that was why I came out with a somewhat positive response. But I did text you, JD, as soon as I got out of it. My stunning review, glowing even, was just got out of Transformers: Age of Extinction. I didn't hate it, and I think that's a win.
Which is a good review for a lot of people.
I think that's a win. I agree with a lot of what has been said, and I brought all of that baggage coming into it. I knew it was going to be long. I agree it's way too long. I will say that all the money they spent on this is up on the screen because the action is phenomenal and it is visually stunning at times. I don't have any sort of allegiance to the Transformers characters. I don't really know anything about the mythology, and I didn't even watch the middle two films. I walked out of the first one. So I really did not like this series.
Nice.
I was only watching this for podcast purposes.
Sure.
That being said, I thought the action was pretty cool. They could have really taken a hatchet to this in the editing room. I do think that Marky Mark is a big improvement over Shia LaBeouf. I don't think... I think having just a sort of the dumb jock action star fits with Michael Bay's approach. I think that getting rid of a lot of the humor from the previous version, like John Turturro and like those weird agents and the Transformers like peeing on things or doing their version of peeing on things, I appreciate that was gone. I heard there were truck nuts in a previous version.
The second one. Yeah.
You won't see as much of that. There's still some attempt at humor from Michael Bay, and I guess where I'm going to disagree with most of the criticism of this film is I do not want characterization. I don't want Bay to try to inflect any sort of personality in the characters, because when he does, it goes off the rails. Just give me giant robots punching each other hard, and he can do that well. Yeah. But he just needs to do it at 90 minutes. I think that's my main criticism. Otherwise, I thought some of the action was great, and you're definitely going to get that. And I think a lot of the fans of this series, that's what they're paying for anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people out there know that I'm a big fanboy of Transformers, and not just Bay's films, but the comics, the cartoon, pretty much anything. I've just enjoyed it all. I don't 100% disagree with you, Tim. There's a lot wrong with the narrative, mostly the characterization with the human characters for me. It is 30, 40 minutes easily too long. As much as I love this universe and I love this world, I'm the only one that can probably stand a 2 hour and 45-minute Transformers film. I mean, I did see it 3 times, for crying out loud. So I can understand it. Hold on. But it is too long. And I could understand how most people, and probably even most fans of this franchise, are going to hate it because of the length of it. I completely agree with that. But that being said, I loved this film for very specific reasons. And it kind of goes back to some of the stuff I've talked about in the Transformers movie series when we've talked about Revenge of the Fallen, and even go back to the first stuff. It's not the human characters that's compelling to me. It's none of that stuff. I just love the Transformer stuff, and the Transformer stuff in this film to me was incredible. And that's what I really, really liked about this film. One of the things that we were kind of touching on is the human characters. I agree with you that I like Mark Wahlberg much better than Shia LaBeouf. Although I will say the way that Shia LaBeouf's character was written, I think he was the perfect casting choice for it. I just would have preferred the writing of that character to be very different. And I will say, I actually really liked the first act of the human characters here, because Michael Bay does kind of explore this relationship between a father and daughter and some of the dynamics going on there. And I will say, for Michael Bay, it's pretty impressive. Now, for the entire version of our podcast, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher, or check us out online at InSessionFilm.com.